Well, good morning, folks, and welcome to another edition of Friday Morning Live. Today is March 20th, 2026, and we are excited to have our friends from Monarch National Insurance Company on this morning with us, talking about their relationship with FAIA and some of the new things that they have planned for the upcoming year for independent agents. So we'll bring those folks on in just a sec, but in the meantime, let's just run through. There's yours truly, Dave Newell. Again, good morning and welcome. A couple things to keep in mind. The education member benefit, we like just talking about that each week. If you're a member of the association and you have team members that need CE, the association provides 10 hours monthly. So here's some of the courses coming up. So just check back for the education tab and you'll see when those courses are being put forth. But those are member benefits, so take advantage. And then beyond that, AIAM. This is a series that Jeff Odom does twice a year. He's in his his spring session, so to speak. And so there's some webinars coming up over the next few weeks of AIM. So if you're looking for a designation and you're looking to hone some of your social skills and some of the skills beyond, the education realm, these will definitely put you in a good light, and you earn a designation as well. So take advantage of those. Next up, just a reminder, convention, we've said this now for the last few weeks. The convention hall itself, the exhibit hall, is sold out. We are very happy about that. So there'll be a lot of vendors and carriers and exhibitors in the hall this year. Please register. Go ahead and get your registration. I know we have some challenges with the rooms at the Gaylord. We are looking to add additional rooms and room nights. So just keep checking back with us, and we'll let you know when those become available and you can book those. But what we've recommended thus far is go ahead and get a plan B. So go ahead and get a reservation on some of the overflow hotels. And then once once the hotel releases some rooms to us, we'll notify you. And then you can go in and select the nights that you need to come to our annual convention, which is June 17th through the 19th at the Gaylord Palms in Orlando. So look forward to seeing everybody there. But it's going to be a great show, great lineup, a lot of good CE. I'm sure some of you have started to see some of the social media posts of some of the breakout sessions that are happening. So more to come on those. But we've asked each instructor to record just a short snippet about their class and welcome everybody to the convention in June. So next up, just a reminder, Sales and Leadership this year is April 9th and 10th. It's down in Fort Lauderdale. They have a just wonderful lineup of speakers and breakout sessions and CE opportunities. So if you would like to be part of that group, go in onto the events tab on our website and click on Sales and Leadership and go ahead and register, secure your accommodations. Again, April 9th and 10th in Fort Lauderdale. And it's a great event. It's a certainly much smaller event. So relationships are definitely built at that event. So please take advantage of that, if you will. So without further ado, let's bring in Carrie and Rebecca from Monarch. Let me see. Yeah, there you go. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
So, Carrie, okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I love these audio.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
So much harder
Exactly.
to follow each other when we can't see each other's faces. I was just going to say thank you so much for inviting us to be part of this morning's FAIA Live, Friday Morning Live.
Yes, well, thank you. Folks, and I know Carrie and Rebecca certainly are part of the fabric of the insurance industry. We're not going to talk about how long they've been involved in the industry. So they're veterans, as we say, right? But many of you know Carrie and Rebecca. They certainly have provided a great opportunity in places, and certainly with Monarch, to support independent agents, and they are certainly one of our great partners here at the association. So I'm going to go ahead and just show you the two slides. So if you need to contact Carrie or Rebecca, their information is right there. We'll probably flash that a few more times throughout the broadcast, but certainly they encourage questions this morning. So if you have questions, post them in the question pane, and we'll certainly get Carrie or Rebecca to answer those. So please do that. And then let's just go to the next slide and talk about, Monarch, where are you from, how this all happened, and certainly we have an announcement to make, I think, as well. So just I don't know who wants to start off, either Carrie or Rebecca, but let's just talk about Monarch and in the industry that you find yourselves here in Florida.
Absolutely. I'll go ahead and take the lead. I think Carrie's voice is totally shot. Mine's getting there, but I got a little bit left in me. It's Friday. So as you mentioned, my name is Rebecca Deach. I serve as the sales director for HP Managing. We are the MGA that represents Monarch Insurance Company. On your screen, you'll see in the center of the helm there at full attention is David Lockhart. He is our president. To the right of him, you've got Carrie, myself, as well as Kyle. He's one of our directors of claims. And to the left, you've got Kevin Carl. He leads as our VP of product. You've got Bella, our adorable Central Florida Territory sales rep. And you've got Phil Gardner, our director of underwriting. And I really wanted to bring attention to them first because we're Floridians, we're people, we're just like you. We're really engaged with our agents, and we're excited to continue to grow and do business together. I'm going to have you go ahead and forward to the next slide so we can dig into who we are. We are HP Managing. We're dedicated to supporting independent agents and Floridians by delivering superior service and quality insurance products. Our approach is grounded on common sense underwriting. We're not a tech company, I think is really important. I know over the last several years, many companies have been very tech forward and, tech focused. We're not that company. We are people centric, and we're just supported by tech. Of course, we always want to make sure that we're providing, the tech enabled things to make efficiencies or create them within workflows and make it easier for both our agents and our insureds to do business. But we also want to make sure that there's a human factor. Mentioning our age or longevity in this industry, I would say we're a little bit old school in who we are and our approach. Anyone that's worked with us knows that we do truly try to have a common sense underwriting approach as we're writing business. Not everything is black and white or fits in the box perfectly. And we want to have those conversations with our agents and make sure if there's a way to write business and it makes sense that we're able to do that. So that's one of our biggest focuses that we've had over the last couple of years. As you can see on your screen, we're always looking to deliver competitive and, many coverage options and high quality products. And just be really accessible for both our policyholders as well as our agency partners. You can go ahead and go to that next screen.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, Rebecca, when you talk about old school, which is near and dear to my heart, I started in this business a long time ago, and certainly underwriting was old school, right? It was relationship driven. So that's good news. So if a member has a risk that may be a little more challenging, do you guys recommend they reach out to either the marketing rep or somebody in the underwriting realm to have that conversation?
Absolutely. My first goal is to always have them reach out to the territory sales manager, just to help, provide some more context. Sometimes the TM can help, better frame the objective of what's going on, get the, ducks in a row for the scenario so that it can be presented to underwriting fully. So that they can then make a decision, but you're more than welcome to call the underwriting team directly as well.
Yeah, and again, as we look at this marketplace, sometimes trying to fit a square peg in a round hole can be challenging, but based on what you just said, certainly don't give up. Contact contact the territory manager, and then move on from there. So, all right, our story, your story.
Yeah,
let's go
our
into
story.
that.
So well, definitely. So I think one of the things is just to step back for a little bit, right? Who's HP managing is what people are probably asking themselves if they're not familiar. So I'd like to kind of go back a little bit to 2022 when our industry was experiencing significant turmoil. Unfortunately, many carriers were facing insolvency. And at that time, Steve Hale and Hale Partnership stepped in and became the full owners of Monarch Insurance Company. Back on January 1st, 2023, HP Managing Agency was established as the MGA for Monarch, and we started a complete transformation. We did everything from rebranding, a full rebrand. You'll see the gorgeous Monarch butterfly on your screen in the upper left corner, or right corner there.
Yep, right corner.
Right corner, got my left and my right mixed up as usual. We refreshed our systems, we brought in new leadership, all with a real clear vision of reshaping Monarch into the carrier that it is today. As you know, Monarch supports a large and diverse group of agents across Florida. One of the things that I think is really important, we talked about partnership. We've collaborated, with FAIA and FAI via FMS to bring Monarch's access to its members, expanding opportunities for agents across the network. So I think it's really important for you guys to know how important our relationship is with FAIA. You guys bring so many tools and resources to agents throughout the state. As a member, it's a great benefit. To have access to different carriers, but also the education that goes with it is really important to us. And that's part of the reason we find this as being such a valuable partnership.
Well, thanks for saying that, because we value it as well. So,
well, thank you, Dave. Monarch has a variety of products. We offer an HO3, HO6, HO4, and a DP3. And we also are a write your own, offering NFIP flood as well. So I know that that's a topic. Obviously, we want to make sure that all of our insureds have flood in Florida. We all just went through storms over in the Tampa area the last couple of years. So we want to make sure that we have good coverage offerings for our insureds, and things available to the agents as well. You can go ahead and advance to that next slide. So here are some of the things that we wanted to just kind of go over on a high level that really could help our agents write more business. It's important that you guys have those opportunities to capture more business, especially as the market continues to soften. Some things I wanted to point out, just some good wins, are we don't have an age limit on our age of risk. So we'll write older homes, not a problem. Of course, anything over 30 years of age is going to be subject to that favorable 4-point inspection. We also don't have an electrical panel box restriction. So if someone's got a Federal Pacific Zinsco panel box, it's okay with us. As long as there's no deficiency in the box itself, it's okay. We'll write it. Additionally, polybutylene piping is acceptable. Full water is excluded. However, the insured automatically can get that 10,000 of limited water endorsed back onto the policy without any additional inspection. That's based on our longevity of writing poly piping. For some years, our track record knows that we're able to accept that and make that, common sense underwriting decision.
Right.
We will write risks that don't have any prior insurance. There's a lot of people that buy homes. I wish I had the cash flow, but they buy a home and paid cash and then realize maybe that they needed insurance and forgot about it. We'll write those. We'll write no prior insurance for several years on the home. Obviously, we're going to want to look at little things on it possibly. As we go into hurricane season, that's usually the first thing we take away. But it's another added benefit to writing business with us, is that availability to write those types of risks and not go through Citizens. You've got short-term rental available. We know Florida is a destination for vacation, so you've got a lot of people writing offering VRBOs. We'll write those risks. Additionally, we'll write risks. Yeah, right? Nice, huh? Yeah. We'll write risks in the name of an LLC or corporation. It is subject to premises liability, but you can write LLCs in courts throughout our product line. And then we also have the ability to write PC 9s and 10s. We're not like other carriers in the way that we do not require a paved road or a visible neighbor. there seems to be a clear break between the trees and the house. So essentially, if the forest is on fire, we want to make sure that those embers don't easily fall on our roof and burn it down. We also don't have acreage limits. That's another one that comes up every now and then. So we've got a lot of flexibility within our guidelines itself. And that really
and Rebecca,
go ahead.
Rebecca, another one I'd like to touch on that you didn't add on the slide. Monarch is one of the few carriers that adheres to Florida statute as relates to roof age. And I know over the last 5 years, the industry has been turned upside down with roofs. And Monarch will review any roof at any age. It does require a favorable inspection showing no wear or tear, granular loss, or curling. But if it is a good roof in good condition with a favorable inspection, we will write roofs over 15 years of age. And our approval on those is about 54% of roofs over 15 years of age get approved. So that's also another avenue.
That's a great point, Carrie, because that has certainly turned the industry upside down, roof age. So.
Yeah, and I think it's important to know it goes back to that common sense underwriting approach, right? You know, we're not looking to just say it. We really want to review it to make sure that it makes sense. You know, we want the quality of the roof to be there, but you and I know that we've been around the block a couple of years, and there's plenty of roofs out there that are 20 years old and they're in great condition. You know, so we want to make sure that we're able to afford coverage to those insureds, you know, that are taking care of the roof. It just happens to be a little older than what they're, you know, most of the requirements throughout the state. So,
yeah, before we move to the next slide, Rebecca, any questions, folks, please go ahead and post them in the question pane, and we'll certainly ask them of Rebecca and Carrie throughout the broadcast today. So, but just encourage questions. But next slide, built to soar and evolve. Wow. I see the butterflies.
Yeah. So as we were saying, HP Managing is actually a multi-carrier platform. Our goal was that HP is a company that's built on opportunity, and we don't want to just offer Monarch. You know, Monarch is a Florida company. Monarch is going to continue to be a stable carrier throughout the state that you truly can count on. One of the things before I kind of go into this next part that I want to make sure that I highlight is we're here for the long haul. You know, we're not looking to be the cheapest carrier out there. We all know that there's going to be new entrants coming into the marketplace offering really, really affordable or dirt cheap rates. That's not our mindset. Our mindset is about strength, long-term strategy, and sustainable rates for our insureds for more than just a couple of years. So I wanted to kind of point that out a little bit. And as we talk about that multi-carrier platform, you can go ahead and go over to that next slide.
Look at this.
Yeah, beautiful. So we're really super excited. There's been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears going into this, and Carrie Rulin really, you know, I just want to celebrate her for a second because this was her little baby child that she really wanted to bring into fruition. And our team is so stellar. We were able to launch it on March 1st. This is Viceroy Insurance Company. One of the things that is kind of awesome about the branding of this, and Carrie, I don't know if you want to go on and talk about it a little bit, but our names, Monarch and Viceroy, they have a lot of meaning to it. Carrie, did you want to speak up for a second and kind of talk about the relationship of the branding?
They do. Thanks, Rebecca. Well, as you saw, when we went through our rebranding of Monarch, it really didn't have a clear brand that differentiated it from affiliated products. And so it was important to us to really capture the rebirth of a carrier. As may have been highlighted a few times, I've been in the business for a few years. So I've seen a lot of disjointed brands and a lot of brands that really stick with us. You know, the Geico Gecko, everyone knows that brand. And so really thinking about the rebirth of a carrier and putting to rest the past and starting something new, the entire evolution, you hear us consistently speaking of evolution and transforming the Florida industry, it was important that our brand aligned with that. And so, of course, first introducing the Monarch, we came out of our cocoon and became something beautiful and powerful. For 2 years running, we were the fastest growing carrier in the state of Florida. And so when we introduced Monarch's sister company, it was important to have that brand alignment, but also what it represents in the market. Viceroy is a butterfly that is often mistaken for the monarch, but is known for its leadership and its exceptionalism. And we thought that was incredibly appropriate for our preferred risk program. And so Viceroy Preferred Insurance Company was born from that brand. So we're very excited to bring that to market. And you'll notice that we also kept a part of the Regal royalty that once framed Monarch's original product. And so that's a tip to our legacy and where we came from and where we're going.
That's awesome. That's a great backstory. Love it. Love it.
Thanks.
Maybe there'll be more butterflies in our future. We'll have to see. So as Gary so beautifully said, Viceroy was very much intentionally designed to be more selective. We're focusing on more smaller groups of agents, more strategic partners. It very closely aligns with Monarch. What I always love to say, and when I'm talking about Viceroy and Monarch, is Viceroy hugs Monarch. And the reason I say that is because the product offerings very much complement Monarch instead of competing with Monarch. As I had indicated in one of the earlier slides, Monarch is the HO3, 4, 6, DP3. Viceroy offers an HO5, which is awesome to see that open peril policy back on the Florida market. And then on the other end of the spectrum, not as preferred, the DP1. So we're just kind of rounding out our portfolio of offerings with the product line. Some other things, it's all supported. The same people that, the agents have worked with Monarch are the same people they're going to work with Viceroy. We do have expanded appetite. I do want to clarify there is a typo on the appetite. My apologies. Viceroy is not available in the Panhandle. We were doing some adjustments because, the market has softened, and we're excited that it was going to be an East Coast property company, but we also expanded that to the West Coast, not the Panhandle. So for clarification there.
Okay.
And then as far as agents are probably going to want to know, how do I get access to this, right?
Right.
Well, the way you do it is by building strong relationships with your territory manager, reaching out to them, writing Monarch, providing the TM with consistent quality feedback. That's how you're going to gain your wings and access to Viceroy. And you can see on the slide, Dave, thanks. These are the territory sales manager based on the counties. We've got a great team. You've got Jace in the north portion of Florida, Bella in our central Florida area. We've got Juan down in the southeast Florida area, and Jordan is located in that greater Tampa Bay area. So I also want to highlight too, I have another individual on this slide, Monique Haig. One of the things that we really are focused on, I talk about relationships, and it's really important to us to have that added value benefit and support to our agents. Monique Hay is our agency success manager. We're actually looking to add another one, so hopefully this list will expand very soon. But we want to give our agents all the tools to training and making sure that everyone knows what's going on with us as a company, what the niches are, how to access our system so that they have the tools to be successful. So if you're a current Monarch agent, if you want a refresher, of course you can reach out to your TM, but we have Monique available as well. Maybe someone is newly onboarded in an agency. Monique can easily hop on a call and provide that training, where our TMs are mostly in the field. So we really just want to give all of our agents those tools for success.
That's
we're excited to
awesome.
have that.
But you know, Rebecca, and it's you know, each week we talk about different products and services and carriers and what people are doing to. But yeah, the territory managers make a huge difference in an agency plant for independent agents. So always encourage you to get to know these folks, go to local board meetings, go to different functions, because many of these TMs are there, you know, that you can, you know, Capital Days was a perfect example, right? You guys were all over the board. You had people here, but you had other meetings where you were deploying some of your teams. So it really encourage agents that want to build these relationships to go to a lot of those different events, because territory managers are well represented at several local boards. Big I days are coming up, so encourage that as well. So good point.
Yeah, no, great point, Dave. I am all over these guys to make sure that we are represented as many events as possible, whether it be through YAC, you know, like you said, the little eyes, I call them, for big eye days, all of those events. So definitely that's the easiest way to get in contact and build a relationship with our TMs.
Okay. All right. Well, we got a few questions if we want to delve into those before we, you know, move. I think this was actually the last slide, but we got other things to talk about. But Charles wants to know, can townhouses with a master policy be written as an HO6, even if it is rented? Is that something you guys entertain?
Yeah, so we write HO6 policies with the rented to others endorsement.
Okay.
And you can have a townhome on the HO6 policy.
All right. Will Monarch write a PC-10 with a fire claim within the last 5 years? Well, we're getting real specific here.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah,
making my brain hurt here.
I think, Chris, you're probably going to have to reach out. I'm not going to.
Yeah, on those fire claims, it's definitely something we'll consider.
Yep.
But we need to know a little bit more of the details.
Yep. All right. And then risks with the name of an LLC or corp is listed on the guidelines as ineligible. However, it was stated it is allowed. Can you please clarify?
Yeah, so we do allow for LLCs and corporations throughout our forms. Not sure specifically what they're looking at. If you have a risk in an LLC or corporation, it would change from the, you know, regular liability on the policy to premises liability. If you have a specific scenario or type of risk, feel free to go ahead and reach out to me or the TM.
All right. Yeah, I think Charles is talking about maybe on your guidelines, it's saying one thing, but on the slide that we just showed, is saying something different. So we'll probably need to take a look at that, Charles, and make sure we clarify that, or the team. We'll definitely pass your information on to Rebecca and the team, and somebody will reach out to you to make sure that point gets clarified for sure. You know, cool. Well, those are some of the questions we had. Those were rapid fire. If we have, any other questions, please post them here. We got a great comment from our friend Dave Burt, who you guys know and love very well. That's part of the FMS IMS platform, and so that partnership continues as we just discussed. But Dave Burt says thanks, ladies, and he appreciates y'all being on this morning. So. But any other questions that we have for the team that's on this morning on Friday Morning Live, please post those. I know we're in anticipation of hurricane season, June the 1st. Everybody's busy. I know Carrie's been extremely busy in that project, as they call it. Just curious, what do you guys do as a team to get information out to policyholders for pre-planning? Is there a protocol that you guys use as far as communications to policyholders and therefore agents about how your response is being handled pre-storm?
Absolutely. I'll take that one, Rebecca. It's my favorite topic. So based on a culmination of our past experiences, we've kind of taken pieces from other shops that we've been at that we felt really got to the heart of what consumers need. I think that sometimes we're in this business so long that we forget the entire business is built around customer expectations. And so it was really important for us to make sure we were hitting the customer's expectation, because not only does that take weight off of the agent, but it makes good on the only promise that we've made them, which is to be there when something bad happens. So we use on our website, we currently have information about hurricane preparedness, and it goes into other, perils. We always have blogs and information on there about, preparing your pets for a cat event. So we have all of that information available to agents. We do have our claims brochures. We're happy to provide those for the agency, should they want to hand those to a consumer. But more importantly, as we move into an event, we have direct communication with customers. We send them email messages regarding what our action plan is, where they can find us if there's been, a designated insurance village. We provide them all of the locations for FEMA so that they can get emergency assistance if they need it. And we provide communications on an every other day rapid fire as the storm moves closer. As far as our agents, we're providing them a daily communication on what's happening, what areas are impacted, and what we will be doing to respond once the event passes. So we have a very broad communication plan, both directly with the consumer and with the agent, keeping them in the loop.
Yeah, that's great information, because as we continue, I mean, believe it or not, we're almost in April. It's kind of crazy. I know you guys are in the throes of your reinsurance buy. So this is great information, and certainly every agent that's on this call, please take advantage of those resources, because sharing those with your customers, the more we can prepare, the more we can set expectations, the more we can provide information. Carrie, you mentioned the pet. Many of us have not just one. I have multiple pets, right? And so preparing for them is a big part of this process as well. So thanks for that information. But take advantage of those resources, because certainly that'll be very helpful when we live in Florida. We will have an event of some form or fashion. So
I think that pet one really touches with people, Dave, and I have a little tiny story to share on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
My beautiful, beautiful Pete, he was a miniature rat terrier, and I adopted him when I lived in Tallahassee, and he had been an abandoned pet during Hurricane Katrina. And the unfortunate news to that is there were literally thousands and thousands of pets that had been abandoned, because when people have to measure their own safety over their pet, they make a very hard decision. And in their minds, they think, if I just let him free, he'll find a safe place. And unfortunately, in Katrina, that wasn't the case, but it also put a lot more focus on that preparation and how important it is to have a plan for your pets. And I can tell you, anybody who's Gen Z, for 100% certainty, their pet is their child. I think a lot of us feel the same way, but I think it's been more apparent over the last 10 years that, this is a choice that people make very seriously. And so being able to provide them with information on how to prepare, how to get advanced medications from your vet, what to pack for your pet, where to store their stuff. It's all really important, and it just goes to the heart of who our consumers are.
Yeah. Great point. Yep. Many of us on this call definitely are pet lovers. So that's great information. Just curious, Carrie, just to make sure we put a bow on it, that information you're talking about can be shared with customers of the agency, correct?
Absolutely. And Rebecca will correct me if I'm wrong, because it's been a while since I looked at it, but I believe you can actually print that information. And if you cannot, we'll be happy to print it and send it to you.
Okay. Yeah. Again.
Yeah, I have to look. We just did a refresh of all of our websites, so I have to make sure that it still exists.
All right. Well, you'll do that, and then certainly. But if any member has a question about that, reach out to your territory manager to ask about those resources, because I think that's always a helpful tool and gets great information in front of people at certainly in time of for preparation in time of need, right? Because that's when you need it to start planning for planning purposes. So. Any other questions, folks, that you have for our friends from Monarch and Viceroy this morning? Great announcement. Appreciate you sharing that with the members about the new partnership you have now with Viceroy, and we do, and certainly encourage agents to get to know the territory managers and start looking at that as an option for your agency to grow. Because I think that's part of the goal here today is to grow your agency through using some of these products and services. So, all right. Well, folks, any last words, Rebecca or Carrie, before we wind this Friday Morning Live down?
I just want to once again thank FAIA for having us, first and foremost, and for the long and beneficial partnership. We've seen a lot of great agencies develop through the process. We know it works, and we're excited to support it.
Great. Yep. Rebecca?
I just echo what Carrie said, 100%. You know, the partnership is so important. And as Carrie mentioned, we've seen some really successful agents that came through the FMS program. So excited to continue to grow that with you guys as well. And just in general, in the industry, it's such a great partnership for us to be along with.
That's awesome. Well, folks, they'll be at convention. So certainly, if you've not met some of the team, they will certainly be there. They'll be welcoming and have all kinds of activities, I'm sure. So please look up the team at Monarch and Viceroy to continue to build upon that relationship that you currently have. So let's. That's the territory managers. So if you're not familiar, they're divided throughout the state, but certainly reach out and look at the map and see who's closest to you. And then upcoming shows, folks, April 3rd, Ideal Traits. You know, they have been a partner of the association for several years. We still have a challenge in our industry about bringing people in as those that want to get in the insurance business. So Ideal Traits is a vendor that can help you find talent. So certainly recommend you tuning in for that. April 10th, Evolve, which is a cyber partner of the associations. Cyber is a challenge. We just went through a whole cyber exercise here within the association about phishing and some of the other things that are happening in our world. And I'm sure many of you are facing those same challenges. So our friends from Evolve will kind of lead us through that conversation. And then May the 1st, as we get ready for hurricane season, we have our friends from Flood Risk Solutions. Chad Latour and his group will be on talking about some of the things that they're doing to prepare for this coming hurricane season from a flood perspective. So just FYI of the upcoming events, and then we'll finish up in May, and then certainly convention will be right upon the corner in June. So want to thank Carrie and Rebecca for being on this morning. Great guests. A lot of great information, folks. This is recorded, so if you want to share it with your team that couldn't be on this morning, look for it on the FML page next week. First part of next week, it'll be up there as a link. And so if you want to share that with your team members, certainly I encourage you to do that. Great information and certainly resources to you as an independent agent and a member of FAIA. So, did the 27th get canceled? Yes, Charles, it did. Unfortunately. So we had to move it to April the 10th. So good catch, Charles. Thanks for asking. So, but yes, great. Have a great weekend. Weather should be beautiful all around Florida, from what I hear, especially here in Tallahassee. So, thanks to our guests. Thanks for you for joining this morning. This is Dave Newell signing off Friday Morning Live. Have a great weekend, folks.